welcome to another episode of the Maskell Sessions. I, of course, am your host, Jordan Maskell, broadcasting from my studio in High Level, Alberta. You know, we've got our fucking masks on, we got some gloves, but before we get to the show, a few things. If you like what I do here on the Maskell Sessions, you can subscribe to the Maskell Podcasting Network on iTunes, rate, review, subscribe, share it with somebody who enjoys podcasting. Show's also available on the apps Stitcher and Podbay, as well as my official website, maskell.tv, so go there, check out all the content I have, sign up for my Patreon for all sorts of uncensored shit, and follow me on Twitter, at Maskell91. Gotta fix my mask here a little bit. Of course, you know, still self-isolation, still quarantine. We're on fucking lockdown here. It is super hard to do a podcast with a fucking bandana around my face like I'm a goddamn cowboy. Oh, we'll take her off a little bit. But, so, essentially, there's been a lot, and oh, boy, you can hear me a lot better. Who would have thought with having no fucking mask on? Essentially, a lot of shit has changed in the last few weeks in regards to the coronavirus, and people are taking it a lot more seriously. Like, I can count on one hand, and it's really just one person that I've interacted with in, I don't know, a week's time. I've been just working from home and still doing the show and a few other things that I've been focusing on. Anyway, I want to get to tons of stuff. Lots to get to with the show. Just going through here, lots of questions with coronavirus I've found as well. Not a lot of information that, this is a completely new fucking virus that no one has ever, I guess, dealt with before. So everybody's taking all these very extreme measures. I never thought a month ago that we would all be locked in our homes, essentially. And not even locked down, but they've kind of, I forget what the chick's name is, but she is, I think the public health minister or something like that. But whoever Trudeau has, she has really gray hair. She made the comment about if people didn't follow these rules, we would have to take more drastic measures. And you know what drastic measures means? Less of your freedoms are going to be enjoyed. You already, in certain parts of the country, can't fucking travel anywhere. So you can't go to, I can't go to the Northwest Territories, for example, because the border's shut down. New Brunswick, I believe, is the same sort of situation. So lots of questions, and people are still sort of on edge, and I think it's making everybody paranoid. But one of the things that has changed quite a bit, and I gotta take these fucking gloves off. That's the one thing too. I'm wearing gloves every single time I go out anywhere, and your hands sweat so fucking much when you have gloves on. These are new gloves as well. I put it on for the bit, of course. I noticed just like your hands are sweating, and people, these animals who just take off their gloves and throw it on the ground. You know how with like a cigarette, they always tell you don't throw a cigarette butt on the ground because essentially the paper and the tobacco will deteriorate, but the cigarette, I think, it can stay around for like 5-10 years. So imagine one of these. Imagine all these. People just toss them on the ground. They don't want the disease, that could be carried on the outside. But then you see people with, if they have their phone, so they'll take their phone and they'll put it up to their face, and they're wearing the gloves that they just touched everything with. So I think some people are very conscious about what is going on and that sort of thing. We have here, we'll move this over, and so this is a map, flatten the curve. So in Canada now has 17,000 872 confirmed cases, 3,791 people have recovered, and there's been 375 deaths, with 13,007, what's that number? 706 that are currently still active. Now, the states are just fucking hammered. That's probably why they've been, I love DJT, but it gets to the point where let's not shut down the border and prevent medical supplies that are coming to Canada to help people here. Let's not just be selfish and not help, let's not help America's little brother in the north as opposed to, keeping all the shit, locking all the borders, and Trump just, basically going like this to Justin and saying, it's your fucking own problem, Justin. But America has 396,223. There's been close to 13,000 deaths in America. But that's not even some of like the bigger areas. So we got Italy. Where's Italy here? 17,000 deaths. So it's impacting a lot of countries. Now they're talking about flattening the curve. So social distancing, avoiding all this other shit, and just, washing your hands frequently. Don't touch your face when you're out. Wear gloves. Wear masks now. Again, that was something that was questioned as to, do we really need to wear a mask? Well, apparently you kind of do now. And I have a clip from Justin here. Where's old Justin? Talking about some of this stuff. Because he's, here we go, for non-medical masks. And the answer has sort of changed over time. Like at first it was like, no, you won't need a mask or anything like that. And now it's like, yeah, might not be a bad thing to wear a fucking mask. So Justin, he had a little soundbite here about speaking moistly or some sort of shit. Oh, there we go. There's Justin. Well, what does Justin have to say, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, turn Justin up a little bit so we can hear him, of course.
I think those are exactly the kinds of questions that people should be taking the advice of medical experts from. I am not a medical expert. What I have
Pause. No shit. No shit. You're not a medical expert. No, Justin. We thought you knew it all with medical. Dr. Trudeau, as I mistakenly call him,
from medical experts, is that the most important thing is for people to stay home. If they do have to go out, they need to keep 2 meters apart and look to go out as minimally as possible. We need to wash our hands regularly. We need to cough into our elbows. These are the things that we know will slow and arrest the spread of this disease through this country. My understanding of what Dr. Tam explained yesterday is that if people want to wear a mask, that is okay.
Pause. Let me tell you, it was not okay maybe a few months ago, not in the sense of, wearing a medical mask or if somebody was sick around, like covering your face and stuff, just covering your face in general. It was concealing your identity and people would definitely question others if they were, concealing their face and even with that whole hijab argument where it's like you can conceal your face and not have to show identification, because of religious purposes, yet, somebody couldn't wear a mask out in public just because, they would look at that as troublemaker. Now, fuck, everybody wants to wear a mask, just to be safe. I might wear this bandana, look like a cowboy. Got my 6-shooter right here. But at least having something, because coughing or just talking in general, air's coming out of your mouth, which could be contagious. So I'm not sure about. I'm gonna feel like a fucking fool wearing a mask, but I'd rather look like a fool or feel like a fool and be healthy.
Protects others more than it protects you, because it prevents you from breathing or speaking moistly on them. Oh, what a terrible image.
Pause. Moistly on them. Just talking and just slobber just coming all over the place, all over somebody's face. We have all been there. We've all experienced it when we're sitting, talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden you just get feel like fucking spit right in your face. You're just like, ugh. Just that yuck kind of feeling.
Actually, is something that people can do in certain situations. Our focus, though, is making sure that people don't think that wearing masks can mean that they don't have to social distance as much or can go out more often.
Pause. Just people just sitting around with fucking masks on. Maybe if you're in a hazmat suit and you're all in like a living room, you all got fucking hazmat suit shit all over the place. You've got your sort of decontamination area. Maybe that in that situation, but yeah, you can't just throw on last year's Halloween mask and get together with your buddies to play poker or some shit.
The advice remains: stay home and
stay home.
Keep 2 meters apart.
So keep 2 meters apart. And some of the stuff is what it looks like across Canada. So this looks different everywhere. The territories, for example, have shut down their borders. Essentially, I think it's New Brunswick too. People everywhere are saying limit your travel. Don't fucking travel anywhere. So I don't disagree with that. Like, I canceled a fucking trip to Ontario because I don't want to get on a plane and essentially be sitting there. And this is the social distancing. This is the social distancing for WestJet. Essentially, so you have your window seat, you got your middle seat, and you got your aisle seat. Well, social distancing on WestJet flights, no person sits in the middle. It's like, fuck, that's the social distance? They probably spread them out, but how many people can you carry on a plane before you, I don't know, how, I guess far apart in that plane do you have to be socially distant and stuff. And we have a ton of other shit that I want to check on. Let's look at what it looks like in Canada here. We got, who do we have? I guess the CBC, they're doing all these different reporters. Oh, who's that gentleman?
I'm Harry Forrestal in Fredericton,
where
Harry.
The
number of people
infected
with COVID-19 continued its relentless climb today. 4 more cases for a provincial total of 95. Now, New Brunswick has the second largest population in the region, but remarkably no deaths here yet, although health officials say they will be inevitable. Across the border, Nova Scotia leads the region with 207 cases, 14 of those added today. Most of those cases are travel related, but there are growing concerns about community transmission in Nova Scotia. PEI added no new cases today. It has 22 infections. And finally, Newfoundland and Labrador added 12 new cases for a total of 195. And the region's only death from COVID-19. Newfoundland and Labrador says it won't be able to do the modeling that will indicate when the COVID surge will
modeling.
hit. The other
oh, look at that. My COVID, I'm sort of kind of a model. I put my joint down. Oh, look at that. I'm rocking my bandana. Just strike a pose. Strike a pose of your fucking glove on or something. But continue, Harry, continue while I light my joint.
3 provinces here have committed to doing that next week.
I'm Alison Northcott in Montreal, the epicenter of the Quebec outbreak. The province leads the country with more than 6,000 confirmed cases. That's in part because of more testing here. But there are more than 400 people in hospital, more than 100 in intensive care, and 61 people have died. Quebec's premier says he'll reveal projections for the outbreak next Tuesday.
We have to give the population the information we have.
Population?
But until now,
the
information was not clear about the number of cases, the number of deaths that we forecast in the next months or even in the next weeks.
Legault says the measures in place so far are working, urging people to follow directives around staying home, physical distancing, and hand washing. He says hundreds, even thousands of lives depend on it.
I'm Bonnie Allen in Regina, and here in Saskatchewan, 3 people have died from the virus so far. And at the moment, fortunately, just 1 person is in intensive care. The province is still calculating what to expect.
Okay, so as I was fucking around trying to pause that thing, so that's one of the things. If people follow the rule or follow the recommendations, self-isolate, and do everything proper, then the chances of getting COVID-19 go drastically down. But you have to be doing what they're recommending and not going out. There's tons of people going and getting a workout in the park or doing that stuff. I think a lot of parks in different parts of Canada have now been shut down. I believe. I'm not 100% though.
Now, all we can go on is an internal report from 2 weeks ago. It predicted a worst-case scenario of hundreds of people in the ICU at one time and as many as 15,000 people in Saskatchewan dying. But that prediction was made before most restrictions came into effect. Next door, Manitoba's premier says he'll release some information next week, even though he's reluctant to do so.
I'm not interested in trying to scare the hell out of everybody in the province just so that some people start to pay attention.
Pause. That's a good point, too, because honestly, I felt a lot better since I've stopped watching the news. I still keep informed. I read the news. I don't want to hear the news continually sensationalize this fucking coronavirus stuff and scare everybody. Yes, it could be serious, but the way they do it, you could, splice them together, and it could be the opening for a new zombie movie. The way some of these fucking anchors and reporters are acting.
COVID-19 cases in the ICU remain low in the West. Alberta is still tweaking its calculations, but we already know it projects 250 people with the virus will be in ICU beds within 3 weeks, and it will have 1,200 beds ready.
Well, for some analysis, we're joined by our medical sciences correspondent, Kelly Crow. And Kelly, what do you think the strategy was behind releasing these projections?
Well, I think there were 2 objectives. I think the first was, frankly, to scare people. The language being used was that these are stark numbers. It's alarming. We had 24 hours notice that we were going to hear something disturbing. And I think the purpose behind that was to get people who might not be taking this seriously to be serious and to actually understand why these...
Pause. And some of this could be fear tactics, again, like what she just said, so that people, the ones who would just brush it off normally, are taking it seriously because of the fear. And some of the people that would have took it seriously in the first place have now been just overwhelmed with this fucking stress and anxiety that this sort of stuff has caused.
Physical distancing measures are being put in place and to actually follow through. But at the same time, I think there was also an effort to give some positive feedback, to say, look, this is what could happen, but this is what will happen under, or what are projected to happen under the measures that are in place right now. So a way of saying, keep doing what you're doing, but what you're doing is hard, but it's actually having some impact.
And we keep hearing about the peak and, how important it is to try to keep that peak
flatten
below
that curve.
What hospitals can manage. Do we have any sense of when we're going to see the peak?
Well, there's so many variables at play here. So I think the answer is no. Although privately, some of the experts are saying that they're beginning to see early signs that we might see the curve flattening, but it will be flattening over a long time. We're going to have to keep these physical distancing measures in place for quite a while.
I
think that maybe by the end of...
she might just be saying... My estimation and what I've heard from some experts, and even experts I sort of know, July. That's what I've heard. We're all going to be here till fucking July, so strap in, kids.
Next week and the week after, we'll start to see whether the people returning from spring break, whether they...
Oh, those fucking... the people returning from spring break, just is Auschwitz Is that available? Can we stick them in some sort of internment camp just to make sure? So they're, that's a goddamn good dope right here. The people who aren't actively self-isolating and are together, why don't we just put them together, but somewhere that aren't impacting anybody else in communities or things like that, right? Like if these fucking faggots are going to spring break in this climate, and we played a video, oh man, if I get corona, I get corona. It's just like, Jesus, you could fucking die depending on your health conditions.
For an increase in cases, we'll watch and see what's happening with the long-term care outbreaks. So obviously, it's a question everyone's asking, and unfortunately, the answer is we'll just have to stay tuned and keep watching.
Stay tuned. Yeah. Plus, that's a way that they can just keep the numbers going for the CBC and things. Oh no, keep watching. Stay tuned. We'll let you know more about this coronavirus on our next episode. I totally like know why they're doing it. Again, to keep ratings up, and it's not necessarily like they intend to do it. I'm sure some stations do, but I'm not sure that all stations are sort of malicious that way or things like that. But let's take a look at some other stuff, because I kind of wanted to do a little breakdown. This is actually what fucking started it all. Fucking take these glasses off for this. I swear to God, do not watch the movie Contagion. Don't fucking watch it. Do not watch Contagion, because essentially my girlfriend and I watched Contagion like I think 2 or 3 weeks before all this shit happened, and honestly, it's eerily similar. I'm not sure if I brought this up on the last show, but it's very eerily similar to what's going on. And so I just it's do you want to, it'd be like if there's a hurricane happening outside. You want to throw on a movie that features a hurricane? So this is the trailer, and I'm not even fucking kidding. This is almost identical to what's going on. Well, obviously there's some fucking differences, and it is a movie, but eerily similar. And then people are going to the measures of like wearing fucking gloves and masks and shit when they're out. But here we go. Oh, just a little bit too loud, of course. Yeah, fucking don't watch this movie at all.
It was a groundbreaking ceremony for a new factory.
Did she mention seeing anyone who was sick? Anyone on a plane at the airport?
Pause, and then that whore, Gwyneth Paltrow, she comes back and infects not only one of her kids, but she infects this guy who she cheats on Matt Damon with. She stops over in like Chicago or some shit, fucks him, then gets on another flight and then flies to see him, go home to her family. And meanwhile, she's infected Buddy. So yeah, Buddy got some pussy. And if, you've seen Gwyneth Paltrow, I don't know what all the fuss is about. Overrated. She's mediocre, if best. But we continue.
She said she was jet lagged.
From all that dick she was receiving in Chicago.
The average person touches their face 3 to 5 times every waking minute. In between, we're touching doorknobs, water fountains, and each other.
Matt. Mom? No, go up to your room, honey.
So we have a virus with no treatment protocol and no vaccine at this time.
Plus, isn't this sound familiar? Doesn't this sound familiar? We don't have a vaccine. We don't know what to do. Very, very fucking, close to the COVID-19 bullshit. And this was just in like 2011. Oh, there she's dying. Yeah, look at her. Even in death, she's even worse. She's like a fucking 2.
Morning, Beth.
Does she have a history of seizures,
No.
allergies?
As of last night, there are 32 cases.
Unfortunately, she did die.
Right. So can I go talk to her?
Mr. Armoff.
No, she's dead.
Your wife is dead.
What are you talking about? What happened to her?
Pause. Bitch touched the wrong fucking Asian guy. And honestly, we got some clips after that, I'm not pointing fingers, but the fact that this came out of, very many sources have kind of pointed and directed where this all started. It's this wet market in Wuhan, China. It's the Huanan Seafood Wholesale Market, and there's nothing but terrible sort of, and actually just for shits and giggles, of course. Let's take a look at some of the even going just through Google real quick. Oh yeah, this market looks so sanitary. I bet you they follow all the health codes. I bet you every single health code. They got like live animals in cages. Oh, look at that, a badger. That probably tastes yummy. Holy shit. So yeah, not the most sanitary place. So the fucking hazmat suit guys. Yeah, you always have to wear that going to the grocery store. So yeah, they pretty well narrowed it down and said that this is the place where it started. But we continue with Contagion.
What happened to her?
Pause. She died, motherfucker. And oh no, now we got helicopters and the world's ending, all this shit.
Is there any way someone could weaponize the bird flu? Is that what we're looking at? Someone doesn't have to weaponize the bird flu. The birds are doing that.
Watch this. It's transmission, so we just need to know which direction.
On day one, there were 2 people, and then 4, and then 16. In 3 months, it's 1 billion. That's where we're headed.
They're going out the National Guard. They're moving the president underground. People will panic.
Get away!
It will tip over.
The truth is being kept from the world.
Cook your samples, destroy everything.
Pause. All this empty shit, all this fucking empty shit is a lot of the social distancing and staying home and all this stuff. That's on this fucking thing. So again, it's a movie and it's fake and it was filmed like 9 years ago, probably 10 years ago if when it went into production. But yeah, this is very, very odd that then fuck. Well, again, it could have happened to anything. You could be out in the ocean and a fucking shark comes and bites half your boat, and then he'll have like an air tank in his mouth, and then you'll get on and you'll have the gun and just be like, "Smile for me, you son of a bitch," and then just. I think they debunked that myth on a Netflix show, but we continue. I think there's only short time.
I need you to get me the names of everyone who serviced this room. It's an emergency.
You can't panic now.
I know.
I'm gonna get you home.
I got people too, Dr. Cheever.
You gotta panic, motherfucker.
Don't talk to anyone. Don't touch anyone. Stay away from other people.
Get back in your car. We're not sick.
We're not sick.
It's figuring us out faster than we're figuring it out. It's mutated.
Oh, Contagion. It's almost identical. Not completely, but very, very close. So yeah, after watching that, wasn't very I wasn't in the mood to really watch more of that sort of shit. So I'm glad I didn't watch this show called like Pandemic that was on Netflix. But again, we don't know because we haven't discovered where this virus came from. And I showed this to Marconi on the show, but I have an actual uncensored clip, and this is what you get when you're on the Patreon, of course. But we'll just go over, bring that up, fit to screen, And ladies and gentlemen, I give you one of the reasons that probably the coronavirus exists. Oh, he spits. And so we have, for audio listeners, of course, we have Asian gentleman, pause. He's sitting there with a plaid shirt. He has a hat on, and then he has like a blue blanket wrapped around. He has no pants on either. He has no fucking pants. He has a blue, like, I don't know, piece of fabric wrapped around his neck like a cape. But, what? And he has a chicken in front of him. What's he gonna do with this fucking chicken? Jesus, he's fucking this chicken like it's a fleshlight. And the chicken can't do anything. Chicken's just like, motherfucker. Why do I have to get this shit? Ugh. And as he's closing his eyes, you just hear before, just spitting. Ugh. No, Ming, you're not supposed to fuck the chicken. But now he's doing this, what is that, the churning butter sort of motion? And what's disturbingly on is in the background, you see traffic moving. So this is like probably like 4 feet off of a major road. And Gramps is just there fucking a chicken. And he closes his eyes. It's like, what are you, fucking closing them to, show that you're ashamed of what you were doing? But yeah, so I'm not surprised disease happens over in China. Another kind of this was another one where you gotta cook your fucking food. You can't be just sitting there and this is I think they are looking for birds. I think they're looking for birds to eat. Oh, she's got the hedge trimmers. And they're looking in this hedge. Oh, they found a nest. What did they find in that's pause. That probably what they're saying that's translate to jackpot. Oh, they got a little bird. Oh, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna pet it, right? Holy fuck! She just ate the pause. Holy fuck! She just ate the fucking bird raw. Holy shit! They're looking at it again for people listening at home. She looked at it, and then she just popped it in her mouth like it was a fucking Skittle. Oh, that's good. What's good? What makes your taste buds more when it like the flapping of the body as it fucking shakes to death? Holy fuck! Oh, she's going back for more, I bet ya. Oh, there's another one. Oh, fuck! She eats it again. Probably low calories too. Oh, another one. Oh, she's like, that's it. Jesus, a little snack while you're doing the hedges. Holy fuck. I am not even surprised that the coronavirus exists. If this is what's happening over there, like, we have to say it's a Chinese virus. Like, if this shit started from maple syrup, we'd call it the Canadian virus. 100%. The world would. They'd be like, oh, that Canadian virus, because people don't think it's offensive. And I don't think saying that it came from Wuhan, China is any stretch of fiction or anything like that. Like, this shit, that's where it came from. And now the fact that they're letting I guess people out of their homes now and lifting restrictions and you can leave Wuhan. No, go ahead. No, you're probably good. It's not. I think that we should kind of just wait this period out a little bit more, not just fucking rush to get back to normal. People keep telling me this is the new normal. I don't want to believe it. Could fucking be very well the new normal, because I wouldn't have believed that the whole sort of world would shut down over an invisible thing. That before, few weeks before, I would have gone to the grocery store with just my bare hands, just, grabbing stuff off. Now I will not even go without gloves at all, because I don't want to take the fucking chance. I do not want to take the chance. So yeah, Canada has sort of changed the stance on wearing masks, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Like this was actually something that I thought would be a good sort of thing, because quite frankly, not everybody knows how to wash their hands properly. So how to wash your hands like a surgeon, I figured, especially now since I'm doing a visual element, let's bring this to the show. So this is, I guess, the exact same way, and this will also give me time to probably roll another joint, as I do commentary, of course, over this. This is how you wash your hands like a surgeon, apparently.
Washing your hands is your first line of defense. It's definitely more important than ever with the pandemic of coronavirus. Hi, I'm Samantha Hill. I'm cardiac surgeon in downtown Toronto, and I'm president-elect of the Ontario Medical Association.
Look how big her forehead
hand
is.
Washing is at least 20 seconds. The first thing that you want to do when you're washing your hands is
pause. Look at her Stonehenge nose. No offense. No, was her name Samantha? She said. I forget already. The chick with the glasses and the big nose. Let's continue.
Your hands to turn on the faucet. It's important to remember that you've now used dirty hands to turn on the faucet. You're going to wet your hands, and then you're going to reach over and grab some soap. And your soap should be enough to cover the surfaces of both hands. The temperature of the water should be warm, not too hot, not too cold, something comfortable for you.
Okay.
You then take that amount of soap, and you put your fingers in it on both sides. You then use the fronts of both hands and you rub palm against palm, either in a circular motion or in a back and forth motion. What's important to remember here while you're doing this is that you want to get in between each of your fingers. This motion is a good motion to do them all at the same time, and then you want to do the other side. Having done this, you then turn your hand over and you do the back of one hand. Again, circular motions over this flat part of your hand, up and down a little bit to get the fingers, and then in between each of the surfaces, not forgetting your thumb and the space in between it. And then you do your other hand, same concept. You just rub slowly, nice circles over the palm of your hand.
I can guarantee not everyone's going to be doing this. Like, you see, again, with like the whole cell phone thing. Oh, I've got my gloves. Nothing will happen. Oh, ring, ring, ring. Oh, I got my phone here. And they put it up to their ear and fucking, and this now has germs on it. And this is one of the biggest germ carriers is a cell phone, because you touch it so many times and you don't always wash your hands when you touch it. So germs just sit on there. And again, never remember doing shit like this for SARS, H1N1. Fucking live my life like normal. Now, fucking haven't left the house in 5 days, but we continue.
And back and forth to get the back of the fingers, and then in between each of the fingers like this. At this point, you're almost done. You're going to want to go around each of your fingers individually to make sure you've gotten all of the surfaces of the fingers, and then you're all done. You're going to rinse your hands under that warm water. Make sure you get all the soap off, because it can be quite abrasive if you leave it on. Use a paper towel to dry your hands. Make sure your hands are nice and dry, and then use that same paper towel to turn off the faucet.
Yeah, it's
Over
all
the course
these.
of the day, we touch
millions
of things. We touch our face, which we shouldn't.
It's also I'm just looking here as I fumble with some of this stuff. You don't realize, again, like leading up to like the washing of your hands. Oh, I washed my hands, no problem. Yeah, but you touch the tap and the light maybe in to turn on the light. I use my elbows. Throw a fucking John Jones there. Like a black Fonzie. You just hit the light turns on. So I as much not touching things as possible. Then take Lysol wipes, wipe all the fucking handles. Wipe the handles to your cupboards, to your doors, all that sort of shit. But like she was saying, we touch our face all the time. And that's true, we do. We do touch our face. I think, honestly, though, that why can't you touch your face in your house if you've disinfected and are social isolating and you don't have it? But, well, we continue.
We touch chairs, we touch pens, we touch our phones, which are dirtier than anything else in the world. We touch money, and the
Except
best
our
defense
minds.
against that is to wash your hands and reduce the population of all of the microorganisms that currently swarm there. It's important to wash your hands to prevent the spread of every virus and bacteria, including the coronavirus.
Not just coronavirus.
And your hands become the vector by which the bacteria, the viruses, the germs move from one place to the other. You should wash your hands after every contact with another person or with a surface that might have been dirty. You should wash your hands definitely before you eat. You should wash your hands probably before you pick up a phone and put
Pause.
it in your face.
And like, are some of these like, you know, washing your hands before you eat? Like, are some of these not just fucking common sense that people should have been doing for? And this is a testament to how disgusting we are as, you know, as animals, essentially, of how, like, think about, like, the homeless. Do you think they're washing their hands? Think about, like, some bum on the street. Do you think he's fucking washing his hands? So already they're not washing their hands, and who knows? They probably have the immunity, right? But the average person, you know, scratching their face, scratching their nose, coughing in their hand, then sticking their hand out to shake your hand. Like, I am now boycotted handshakes and any sort of physical contact. I just, you know, no offense, but we can, not even the fist bump. I'm done with the fist bump too. Just the fact I'm touching you is too much. And that's what they might want you to think. The government, anybody who's trying to turn this into a cashless society, fucking trying to shut down society, how we operate as humans today. This is all like the conspiracy theory. 5G has caused the coronavirus to spread, man. I don't know about any of that. I'm just throwing it out just as a joke, of course. But yeah, you gotta be pretty fucking retarded to think that they got tons of 5G over in all these places that have had a lot of issues. Yeah, the States has a lot of issues, but that's a growing problem because it wasn't caught right away. So you get like in the movie Contagion, that whore goes around and she lands and fucks that guy and then goes back to her husband. And so she's already transmitted it to different places, and that's how it sort of spreads. The travelers didn't know at the time they were infected. They go back and, you know, people may have had this disease before and there's just been no reports of it. And now they're, you know, knowing how to test for it and getting more, I guess, of an understanding on what the thing actually is. Like, fuck, I know it's a virus, but if you told me, yo, Jordan, explain the coronavirus, I'd be like, okay, well, it started in China. Start right up there. Start fucking really pointing fingers then. But no, I'd be like, it's a virus, and I don't know much else. And again, experts are working on vaccines, but these vaccines could take up to fucking 18 months, even longer perhaps. We don't know. We don't know. The future is fucking uncertain right now. Very, very uncertain.
Every time your hands are going to be near your face, you want them to be as clean as possible. Soap doesn't actually kill germs. What soap does is it creates little bubbles that carry with it oil and grease and other things, and the bacteria and the viruses get trapped in those bubbles. So the friction allows you to pick up more of the dirt that's on your hand.
Pause. So you're essentially, the soap isn't cleaning, it's just allowing it to lift and then remove. Huh. Actually, you know what? I didn't really know that. I thought it was like clean your fucking hands. Didn't realize that. Continue, miss.
Rinse it off in the water. The dirt and the germs rinse off with the water. A lot of people have sensitive skin, and so I would say the best soap to use would be the soap that you tolerate the best and that you like the scent of the best. The best temperature water to wash your hands with is one that is comfortable to you. Slightly warmer water is better than colder water because the oils in the environment liquefy at warmer temperatures, and so the soap works more effectively. When you're washing your hands with soap and water, particularly if you have reasonably tight-fitting jewelry, the soap and the water aren't going to get in there, and the friction from your hands isn't going to affect it. Jewelry actually lodges against your skin and is a great place for bacteria and other germs, viruses, whatever, to climb in between the jewelry and the skin, and so it lodges on your skin. So you're creating a little pool where the bacteria and the viruses can happily replicate, and that's probably not the best thing. With long nails, the key is to try and get underneath the nails and make sure that you clean out all the dirt. In washing your hands, you decrease the population count on your hand, render them clean, protect yourself if you happen to touch your face or go to eat something after that, but you also protect your neighbors and friends by not carrying things from one person to another.
And look at that. It ended as I'm rolling this joint. So definitely you got to take extra precautions. But there's a few other ones that I really wanted to touch on. The clothes aspect of it. Because you got the clothes, but then, you take a glove and look at me. I'm touching my face. Fuck you. I take off all my jackets and my clothes and stuff when I come back, and then, you wash your hands and stuff. But how long does it last? Because even watching Diamond Dallas Page and his DDP Yoga, they did a thing about cleaning your groceries. And I swear it was the first time I ever wiped down groceries with Lysol wipes. So, again, I don't know if I'm being overly cautious or these are the right steps to take. The fact people are going out there looking like it's fucking Mad Max in some parts of the world, it's just like, honestly, anything that you do, it may not seem like an overreaction at this point. Oh, look at this. Turn that fucker up, way up. Look at our friend here. I said at first that he may have started the coronavirus in Canada. Maybe he's an agent of disinformation. But no, this guy's actually been doing some good presentations about this. We got a couple more from him.
Coming out about COVID-19 right now can feel overwhelming. New Canadian cases are being reported every day. New rules and recommendations are being put into place to slow the spread of this coronavirus. And you, like us, have a lot of questions. So we're dedicating part of our program every night to answering them with a team of doctors. Tonight, we're joined by Dr. Samir Gupta, a respirologist and associate professor at the University of Toronto, and Dr. Samir Sinha, the director of geriatrics at Sinai Health System. Good evening to the both of you. Dr. Gupta, maybe we'll start our first question going over to you. How socially distant do I need to be? Should I stay home whenever possible?
So I think, if people are quarantined, then they're confined to their homes by definition. And what I would say now is that if you're not quarantined, you should act as though you are quarantined. So we really are encouraging people to stay home and avoid all contacts. And that means even contacts with family. Just stay with the people that are in your immediate home and don't expose yourself to anybody outside of that if you don't have to.
And what about something like taking the kids or the grandkids to a playground?
Oh, that's an old one, because the fucking playgrounds have been shut down. A lot of playgrounds have been shut down because, again, the easily spread of transmission of this, just putting your hand on something, touching it, and then, you touching that too, and then touching it to your face, that's how it could be transmitted. So.
Not unless that playground is completely empty. And so, we contemplated that ourselves, but the reality is that if a few different people have that idea, then a few different people are there. So we're just not in a position where even that is a great idea right now.
Okay, Dr. Sinha, second question goes to you. If I'm returning home from travel abroad, when does self-isolation start? I mean, can you take a cab home?
Right. I mean, you have to find a way to get yourself home, and we're trying to say be smart about it. Try and get home as soon as possible. Don't go visit your friends, go out dancing, go grocery shopping. Get home as soon as possible.
Pause. And some people have been doing that, where they, they're just like, oh fuck, I don't want to do this, or just disregard the rules. Now people are getting fined for not obeying, I guess, there's a pandemic act or some shit. I'm baked, so I'm not 100% sure about it. But there was something about having, I don't even know it, having like the power. I think it's called the fucking Pandemic Act. I'm not, doesn't sound 100% right, but close. But yeah, this guy is they're both, I'm not disagreeing with them.
Try and do it in the way that minimizes the most contact. That might have to be a cab, and just make sure that other people could potentially do things like get your groceries.
Oh yeah.
But remember.
Oh, pause. Oh yeah, that's essentially big fines, and even fines for not social distancing in parks. If a cop sees you out, oh, you're not social distancing, giving you a ticket. Probably breaking social distancing by, giving said ticket, but, still probably should be social distancing either way, just to be safe. And again, I've stayed away from pretty well everybody, just hanging out at the apartment, just like before, but I go out even less.
Self-isolation, 14 days.
And Andrew, I'll add to that you may be returning from a foreign destination. You may feel like you're fine, but in the last few days in particular, we've now seen studies suggesting that many people will be able to transmit this pre-symptomatically, which means before they develop symptoms, and in some cases asymptomatically. So you may be able to spread this without even being sick. And so it's absolutely essential that you go straight home and don't make any stops and then start your self-isolation.
Okay, Dr. Gupta, this question goes to you. This is one we get an awful lot. What are the symptoms I should be watching for?
So unfortunately, the symptoms of this are really the same symptoms as you get with the common cold. So people will get sore throat, they might get a runny nose, fevers, body aches, they can get a cough. The sort of red flag, which indicates that it's gone onto the lungs and it's now become more serious, is if you get short of breath.
And if you have any of those symptoms, are you supposed to just assume that you have COVID-19 and sort of go into self-isolation?
Unfortunately, it's also flu season, and it's a time of year where people are still catching a lot of colds. So it's very hard to make that distinction. In an ideal world, I would say that you should get tested, but probably because we don't have enough test kits around, we're still limiting testing to people who have symptoms and who have traveled. So the answer is yes, you should self-isolate in case you do have this. And you should call the COVID helpline, and you should call your family doctor. Don't go to your family doctor's office, but call them and ask them.
Of course not. Fucking spread it there.
Dr. Sinha, can this coronavirus stick to my jacket when I go outdoors?
Well, if you're not socially distancing yourself and your friend sneezes, for example, that's why we talk about 2 meters. That's 6 feet apart, because again, things can stick to surfaces. Hard surfaces are what the coronavirus likes more, and remember, hours to days is how long it can last. So it could technically last on your jacket, especially if you haven't spent enough time apart.
And are you supposed to then disinfect your jacket every time you come home?
Well, again, within
pause.
Reason.
Yeah, you pretty well. We're going to have to do a lot of bullshit like this for the next, foreseeable future. Like washing your hands, disinfecting everything. It's going to be a minute before all this fucking wraps up.
But again, this is where we want to up our cleaning and making sure that if we do think that someone sneezed on our jacket or whatever, put it in the wash.
Okay, Dr. Gupta, I think we have one more question here, and it is, when will things get back to normal?
Oh, fuck. Pause. Jesus. Never? Things are never going to get back to normal. Could be the new normal. Get, close to normal. We could get close to normal. I would like that. But as far as getting back to normal, I don't think it's going to be, because I think everybody's still going to be cautious about germs and stuff. And fuck, they're installing these big shields in front of cashiers at the grocery store and the post office and shit. So yeah, I don't see us going back to normal per se.
I wish I had the answer to that. All I can say is I don't think it's going to be days or weeks. I think it's going to be months. And I think whenever that normal comes, it'll be a new normal. I think we'll all probably be bearing some scars of this, and only time will tell.
Dr. Sinha, I hear that a lot, new normal. What's your take on this?
I absolutely agree. Right now, none of us have a crystal ball. We're just really hoping that if all Canadians can pitch in together, what your neighbors do and what you do, it counts, and we all have to stick in this together.
Dr. Sinha, Dr. Gupta, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
And so, again, they don't know when this will be over. People keep asking that question, and it's like, just stop fucking asking, because essentially, I don't think it's going to be over anytime soon. Not unless people really take it seriously and, you know, practice social distancing, you know, staying at home, washing their hands, everything like that. Like, I honestly believe that without doing all this stuff, if we don't do it, essentially we could be. It feels like being grounded a little bit. So we could be grounded for the foreseeable future if we don't fucking smarten up and actually do something about it. But we have a few more. I just gotta hit of course, the camera, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're interested in, you know, watching the show, you can go check it out on YouTube. And if you want to see uncensored clips and the things like that, just come, you know, sign up for my Patreon. I've been meaning to do a video element for a while. It just feels weird now to always be filming. I guess the last couple. I don't know if I'll do it all the time, but definitely filming for the foreseeable future. So there's a few other things I want to see about if COVID-19. Oh, can my pet spread COVID-19? Honestly, COVID-19. And, you know, I'm going to mention Tiger King. There's going to be a whole fucking episode dedicated to the Tiger King, ladies and gentlemen. So that's coming. Might be next episode. But, yeah, I'm actually interested if animals can spread COVID-19. Because I think I think it was in New York, where they're burying bodies in fucking parks now. Because they don't have room and you know, don't have the capability to do things like have I guess funeral ceremonies and shit, and you know, oh, we're digging a hole and they're putting them in the box, and it's not like Iran where they probably just wrap you in a garbage bag and just throw you in a fucking pile with a bunch of other people. But let's see here about the pet thing, and then I wanted to check out the cash one, and then we'll move on. We'll move on from him, and we got a few other COVID-19 related stuff. But I guess that's his dog. I'm very pissed off. I cannot go back home to see Baby Fame at this current time, but you know, maybe in one day.
An invaluable companion in a quarantine, but is she potentially spreading COVID-19? It is.
Oh, pause. Fuck, where are you? He's like, is she spreading COVID-19? And then he's like, oh, okay, we gotta take care of her. Goes out, fucking shoots her, like, you know. Instead of a gunshot, you just hear a gong in the background. Little old Yeller there. Oh, he's got that. I don't really care for those types of dogs, but well, you know, to each his own.
Remote possibility. For starters, aside from scattered media reports and images like these, there's no scientific evidence that pets can get sick from COVID-19. Also, studies have shown that...
That's false now that those fucking tigers... you know, Tiger could have got it, but they said it was like a zookeeper, then it infected some tigers and some lions, and a few other zookeepers at the fucking zoo, and it wasn't Joe Exotic's zoo. It was not at his zoo, so it was some, I think it was like the New York Zoo or some shit, but we continue.
Virus survives longest on hard, solid surfaces. On softer
long-hearted
things like clothes or
surfaces
fur that are more porous,
like my cock.
The virus doesn't do as well. But here's the thing to remember. The biggest issue is people.
Oh, pause. He's eating the dog? Oh, no. False alarm.
Because whenever people get close to dogs and they both have dogs, everyone gets all tangled up. It might just be best to maintain...
Pause. I think the dogs get tangled up. If you're getting tangled up while you're out at the dog parks, which are been closed everywhere, you're fucking idiot.
The physical distancing for your pet as well as yourself. But if someone does pet your pet, I don't think you have to panic.
So keep your dog on a short leash, wash your hands after you get home, and in the meantime, we'll be okay, won't we?
Oh, look at that. Look at that little dog. What about the cash? I want to know how to handle cash too. We got to look into this stuff, because some of this stuff I actually have learned a few things. Cash seems like such a fucking disease spreader though. Like I feel a lot of germs and shit. And before didn't think nothing of it. Somebody gives you cash, oh, you just put it in your pocket. What the fuck? Now it's like, can you just drop it in this bag and I won't touch it for 4 days? That's essentially how I want to deal with cash.
Money changes hands all the time, but can it carry the coronavirus? The short answer is most likely. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine found that when they tested how well this coronavirus survives on different surfaces, on plastic, which is what Canadian money is made of, the virus stayed viable for days. So someone wipes their nose with their hand, pulls out a 20 to buy some toilet paper, and later that same day you get this 20
Good
back
luck finding any.
change. So if you have a choice between cash or credit,
I do think that in the interest of just the anxiety of everybody who's working in our essential stores, our pharmacies, our grocery stores that need to be open, I think it's a kindness to them if we all start using, credit and debit cards.
and either way, after handling anything, remember to wash your hands afterwards.
The key is like washing your hands. Keep fucking washing your hands. Don't just go out and about your daily life and not wash your fucking hands. Because some people again are taking it seriously. Other people are not, aren't giving a fuck. But there have been, I guess this was one of, and honestly, this is the reason why we need the coronavirus. Because it gets rid of things like this. Oh, you'll see it, and we're gonna watch it a couple times. But oh my fucking Jesus Christ! So we have a gentleman. He's clearly gay. He looks white, but he's got the Will Smith from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air haircut. And I don't know what else is going on here. He's in a bathroom. What is he gonna do? Go. Oh, pause. There's no fucking way he's gonna do this, is it? No fucking way. Let's go back. And he's looking, he's taking off his headphones, he's a man on a mission right there. A mission to lick that shitter. Let's roll tape. Ugh.
Coronavirus challenge.
Oh my God. I'm sure his dad is proud. Let's go back.
Coronavirus challenge.
Coronavirus challenge. And he licked, he's not, even if you pre-wipe that shit, would anybody go fucking lick that? Even if they wiped it down before and they're like, okay, it's clean. Is it really fucking clean? Holy fucking shit. So, just from the top one more time.
Coronavirus challenge.
Anyway, so and look at that, how proud he is. And we're gonna keep his picture up right there, because influencer reportedly hospitalized with coronavirus after licking toilet. California social media prank, fucking whatever. TikTok personality known as Lars. So he posted that footage. And of himself in a hospital bed on Sunday. I tested positive for coronavirus, the 21-year-old tweeted. It comes days after the prankster who goes by the social media handle Gay Shawn Mendes. See, he is gay. You can fucking tell as soon as he appeared in that video. He's not quite Joe Exotic, but, you know, you could still tell. Old Hispanic Will Smith here. And posted a video on Friday, of himself running his tongue across a public toilet as part of a bizarre and widely criticized coronavirus challenge. And he's like, coronavirus challenge? And then it's not clear whether it was from the stunt. I would say so. I would say, Lars, you've probably this part. You're okay. You're even your hand. Ugh.
Coronavirus challenge.
Holy fuck. And then he licks it again? What's that, the fucking balls? Holy shit. So yeah, just people like showing off. But then you get other people. So you get a few different sides of the spectrum here. You get people like Lars, who's just a fucking retard when it comes to that coronavirus challenge. Oh, what other one? Do we play that? I guess we will. That might be. It's literally making people go crazy to the point of I see this and I'm just like, I'm not even surprised. And again, this is stuff you'll get on the uncensored Patreon version. And what video we have? Looks to be an African American woman. She has, she's a little bit more husky, we'll say. And she has no clothes on. Oh.
She's coming over here.
It looks like it's
What
like.
What is she on? I ain't talking to her.
No shit.
What is she on?
She's coming around the door.
Oh no, she ain't getting here. Fuck that.
Oh, good call. So then we have, okay, so they see her in like kind of like the middle of the road right there. They see her and she's coming. This is like a monster coming towards you. Look at those fucking paws. Look at those, like, she's overweight too, so she has these gigantic tits that aren't nice, obviously, because she's overweight. But they're just kind of like flopping all over the place. And her fucking, I'm sure she probably still has her weave in there. But, yeah, just fucking craziness. And then.
Where is she going?
She's coming for a bite to eat.
What is she on?
She's preying on a crack. She's looking in the bushes. She's like a jungle creature. This is the corona craziness that goes on.
She ain't getting here. Fuck that.
Look at those fucking tits. She's banging on the wall. Look at this.
She on some crazy shit.
No, she's screaming. Holy fuck. It's like a fucking rape was happening or something. Or you know, I honestly have no clue. You literally just see this woman come out of nowhere and essentially just start banging on the fucking door. You can see her coming, obviously, for a mile away because she's looks to be in the middle of traffic at first, but then just fucking monster fucking body, not attractive at all. She's like a -10. If 10 is the highest, you can only go as low as you possibly can go with that fucking creature. Holy fuck. Very, very scary. But there's also, again, there's some stuff that I'm not really, digging with this coronavirus. The fact that people are very gullible, and this guy, I forget this pastor's name. God damn it. Sometimes, you smoke some weed, it slips your mind. But we might end on this one. He is so fucking retarded. But people will believe what he says. They pay him to do his shtick. But he's so confident that he's going to heal the nation. He's going to heal the nation, ladies and gentlemen. Just without anything. When he doesn't need mass. America, you're healed. Praise be to Jesus. I could never believe all this shit, and especially in this capacity, because not everybody who believes in religion is an idiot. Some people who believe in religion because, it's a personal region and stuff. That's all cool. This guy is taking advantage of people because of religion and through religion. So that sort of shit's wrong. And yeah, he's just a fucking cunt. But let's listen to this fucking idiot. Oh, we had him on mute. And already, as soon as you see look at that face. you already know something's coming. But he is, he's something, all right.
In the name of Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Pause. Look at his fucking. That's Harry Potter grown up right there, without his cloak. Or I guess he got plastic surgery to get removing that scar on his forehead. And I'm surprised Harry didn't get LASIK. You think there would be a spell? He has glasses this whole time, but you figure there would be a spell to be like, okay, eyesight fixed. Like he never did that. He's like, I want to wear these glasses. I look like a fucking faggot, and I have glasses too, but mine aren't like, now the style is circular ones. Like it's like they look odd. This guy has his Harry Potter glasses out, but again, you would think this guy is a fucking, I gotta like smoke more weed. You would think that this guy is a fucking wizard, could fix his, or Hermione or whatever her fucking name is. Couldn't she fix his fucking eyesight? But no, continues to wear glasses through all like 8 or 9 movies, however many that they did. Let's hear from you, sir. What do you got for this coronavirus?
Standing in the office of the prophet of God.
Oh fuck.
I execute judgment on you, COVID-19.
The boss always calling him out. Oh snap. That fucking minister, he just called him the fuck out right now. He called COVID-19 out. I'm casting judgment on you, boy. Jesus. This guy has to do fucking coke or some sort of drug before it's probably prescription pills now that I think about it, because he doesn't necessarily look like the guy that would be like into coke. Oh, that's the devil's stuff. But taking a pill, like, oh, everybody takes pills, even Jesus. Well, fuck, now he's opening some truth serum up on COVID-19. He's gonna whoops your candy ass, COVID-19. Like, that's essentially the gist of this guy's Bible gist. But let's start from the top.
In the name of Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Standing in the office of the prophet of God, I execute judgment on you, COVID-19. Oh, I execute judgment on you, Satan, you destroyer, you killer. You get out. We break your power. You get off this nation. I demand judgment on you. I demand a vaccination.
Pause. I demand you shut the fuck up. Holy fuck, bud. Take it down a notch. You see how quickly that guy just went from zero to like he was like talking, and then he has this hype man there. This is like white people rap a little bit. White old people rap. Like not even saying like even like that gospel music like the Gaither family and shit that my grandparents would watch. But Buddy went from zero and then he's repeating everything that he says. The guy's name is Kenneth Coleman. And he's of course the pastor that had the private jet and all this shit. And he is essentially, he's a fucking lunatic, first of all. The fact, sorry, I'm just, you can't manage that today in this dope-filled world. Get in a long tube with a bunch of demons. That's when he talked about why he needed a private plane. That metal tube with a bunch of demons. Let's hear you, Kenneth, and his fucking lame hype man.
Immediately. Yes. I call you done.
Calling him out.
I call
Pause.
you done.
This is like WrestleMania, and we're gonna wrap on WrestleMania, but yeah, this is this is something that I don't know. This is like a religious wrestling show. I remember seeing something. They had some sort of religious wrestling program, I guess, and it's trying to like draw in like people's interest and shit. But it's so fucking lame. This guy's cutting a promo on COVID-19 right now, and I'm interrupting. That's quite frankly what I'm doing.
Go on. You come down from your place of authority, destroyer. You come down.
Come down.
You crawl on your belly like God commanded you when
What
he
the
put
fuck?
his foot on your head in the Garden of Eden.
This is a better
You will
promo.
destroy.
Pause. This is a better promo than anything you'll see in WWE right now. You can hear the passion in this fucking faggot's voice.
Through COVID-19.
COVID-19.
No more. No more.
No more. Is finished.
Oh, he's declaring it's finished.
Is over.
No, it's not.
And the United States of America.
America.
Is healed and well again.
What the fuck? It's all well and good again, according to Pastor Kenneth there. Like, he's out of his goddamn mind, quite frankly. No, we're all healed. We're all healed. I command you. Like, fuck, what? Like, where does this guy get his energy from? It's not from reading that fucking Bible. Let's get real. It has nothing to do with that Bible. But anyway, I wanted to wrap the show up on WrestleMania. WrestleMania, of course, happened over 2 days because for the longest time they were unsure of how they were going to do WrestleMania. And you know, Vince, very unlike Vince to cancel anything. This was essentially the last minute thing. They moved it to the Performance Center in Orlando, I believe, and or Tampa, or who knows? Because I think their Performance Center's in Orlando, but it was originally supposed to be Tampa Bay. Now they're doing it next year in Hollywood, and they're just like, well, fuck, sorry, people in Tampa Bay, fucking coronavirus kind of fucked you over. But it was all right. It was a pretty good, I guess, alternative to no WrestleMania. And this right here, this is The Undertaker essentially doing a match with AJ Styles that was filmed like a movie. Just a little clip right here. I don't want to spoil everything. Oh, tombstone right on the roof.
It's you and me now, AJ. Ow. Just you and me, buddy. How are you still standing?
Pause. And I did like that part where Undertaker kind of shit talk AJ Styles the whole time. He's like, well, let me tell you something, boy. What you running for? I'm not so old now, am I, boy? And I kind of like that sort of aspect to it. It was a different sort of thing, and I do like actual like wrestling it live or in front of people. But it was kind of cool to see something different and see it done so well. And people gave it rave reviews. That and the Firefly Funhouse match, where it was kind of like what I would describe. It was like wrestling on acid, where John Cena had all these different characters. He came out as NWO John Cena at one point, and all this like crazy stuff, but it reminded me of like a fucking acid trip or not that I've never done acid, but I guess mushrooms. You could I guess attribute some of that stuff, a large amount of mushrooms. I could see it, but yeah, it was a fucking weird sort of thing. This one was more straightforward, AJ Styles, Undertaker, they meet up by a cemetery, they fight. This is like a movie right here.
I had you dead, Barry. Huh?
They got music even.
No, please. No, this is what you asked for, right?
Oh, what you asked for, boy? Oh, chokes them all to hell. Look at that. And yeah, so it was a pretty interesting kind of concept to have. Just real quick, notable matches that I enjoyed. The ladder match was fucking pretty cool, but it was weird. Again, you are expecting these crowd reactions with a live performance, like with a play. Wrestling's like kind of like an athletic play, a movie. But it's in person, and then this was like a fucking real movie sort of thing. But the ladder match was good. No DQ between Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens did a jump, and it was pretty cool to see from today's standards. But when you look at like New Jack, check out Dark Side of the Ring with New Jack, which I didn't even know he was going to be on that, and then I checked it out specifically because I love New Jack, and this guy's doing the fucking really, really crazy dives. It's, a real kind of like look at all the sort of controversial stuff that New Jack's kind of went through. And he's talking about doing coke all the time before going out there. So I guess wrestling. And so that was something that I really liked. And he did, compared to those standards, didn't come close. Braun Strowman beat Goldberg. They essentially, filmed it so in a performance center, they each hit 4 of their finishing moves. It was kind of lame, but he won, and you wouldn't have him like beat the Fiend because fucking Roman Reigns pulled out because he has a weak immune system and he didn't want to get fucking coronavirus. Oh, shame on him. Shame on him, of course. And then Undertaker beat AJ Styles, and then the next night, I haven't really. Some of it was really good. Edge versus Randy Orton, last man standing match. The Fiend versus John Cena again, and then you had Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar, and then he beat the Big Show again, just because they're trying to do other new stuff. But for how long? It's like everybody's uncertain of when things are going to get back to normal. But sports, I guess Trump had a meeting with people over the phone, just trying to figure out when things, where they're sort of at with stuff. Vince, of course, wasn't canceling WrestleMania, but how much longer are you going to just have it at the Performance Center where the product feels like anything without a live audience? It just feels underwhelming, I guess you're getting the same thing. You're getting that sort of performance, but you just don't have people around reacting to it. So it just doesn't feel as great as it could be. So, are they going to do that with hockey, basketball, football? We'll see. I didn't think I'd be wearing fucking, gloves to the store or everywhere now, but I am. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. Thank you very much for tuning in, and checking out what I'm doing here in my studio. But if you want to support me, you can go to the Maskell Podcasting Network on iTunes, rate, review, and share it with somebody who enjoys podcasting. Shows that on, I guess, the Podbay and Stitcher, these podcasting apps, as well as Maskell.tv. You can get links for the RSS feed and all that stuff. Sign up for my Patreon if you want uncensored video content, and some of the bonus stuff that I'm going to be filming, and plenty of time now of all this fucking quarantine stuff. And, of course, follow me on Twitter, Maskell91. We also have, as I just remember now, we have our book and DVD, Together We Stand, a Northern Alberta wildfire story, available, wherever. Just reach out to me and I'll hook you up. $50 for the combo, of course. That's the best deal. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have some stuff planned. We're going to all get through this together. This is what everybody has been saying. You know what? Fuck the fucking coronavirus. And peace and love.